After years of heartbreak and near misses, PSG has finally done it. They've won their first ever Champions League trophy. It's a moment that felt impossible for so long, given all the money, talent, and talent-packed squads they've had over the years. They've spent over a decade chasing the one trophy money couldn't buy. Billion-dollar squads, superstar lineups, dramatic exits, and still, the Champions League kept slipping away. Every year, PSG looked like contenders, until they didn't. Remember 2020? So close. Then came the collapses, the comebacks against them, the memes, and the heartbreak. Even with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, they couldn't crack the code. Last season was maybe the cruelest, dominating Dortmund, hitting the post 6 times, and still getting knocked out. So what changed? How did a team known more for drama than discipline suddenly become unbeatable in Europe? Let's break down how PSG finally stopped chasing and started winning. And trust me, this isn't just about goals. For over a decade, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, invested heavily, reportedly over $1.5 billion, in their quest to win the UEFA Champions League. Despite assembling star-studded squads featuring Neymar, Lionel Messi, and Kylian Mbappe, the elusive European title remained out of reach. In 2020, PSG reached their first Champions League final, but suffered a narrow 1-0 defeat to Bayern Munich, with former PSG youth player Kingsley Coman scoring the decisive goal. The following season saw early exits. In 2021, they were eliminated in the semi-finals by Manchester City, and in 2022, they exited in the round of 16 against Real Madrid, despite leading the tie. Perhaps the most heartbreaking moment came in the 23-24 season's semi-finals against Borussia Dortmund. PSG dominated both legs, registering 30 shots in the second leg alone, and hitting the woodwork 6 times across the tie. Yet they lost both matches 1-0, with Mats Hummels scoring the only goal in the second leg. Despite the financial investment and individual talents, PSG's journey was marred by a lack of cohesive team identity and mental resilience. The club's strategy often focused on high-profile signings rather than building a balanced and unified squad. This approach led to domestic success, but consistently fell short on Europe's biggest stage. The culmination of these challenges highlighted the need for a strategic overhaul, emphasizing team cohesion, tactical discipline, and mental fortitude to finally achieve European glory. Now something had to change, and it finally did. After years of star-studded squads that played more like strangers than teammates, PSG made the smartest decision in years. They brought in Luis Enrique, the same man who won the treble with Barcelona in 2015 and led Spain to a Euro semifinal. He didn't just come in to manage players, he came in to build a proper football team. Enrique gave PSG something they never really had before: a clear football identity. No more confusion about whether they were a superstar show or an actual unit. He introduced a system, a hybrid 3-4-3 with inverted fullbacks, fluid positioning, and quick vertical passing. It wasn't just pretty to watch, it was lethal. PSG only conceded 4 goals the entire Champions League season. 4! That's not luck, that's structure. He also focused on youth. Instead of relying solely on household names, he trusted hungry young players like Warren Zaïre-Emery and Désiré Doué. And guess what? They delivered. Even more impressively, Enrique managed the dressing room with zero drama. Where past managers struggled to balance egos, Enrique made it clear: no one is bigger than the team. If a star wasn't performing, he'd get benched. Simple as that. The chaos of PSG was replaced by control. The flash was still there, but now it had discipline. Tactically sharp, mentally focused, and playing with a purpose. Luis Enrique didn't just fix PSG, he transformed them into a European powerhouse. And that's when things really started to change. And that transformation under Luis Enrique, it wasn't just about tactics or discipline. It was about building something fresh, something long-term. For years, PSG depended on aging superstars, big names with even bigger expectations. But this season that changed completely. Instead of chasing more headlines, PSG focused on building a new core around young, fearless talent. Let's start with Désiré Doué. Just 19 years old, and he absolutely lit up the Champions League final. 2 goals, constant pressure, and zero fear. Inter Milan's defense couldn't handle him. He didn't just play well. He owned the biggest stage of his life and walked away with the Man of the Match award. Then there's Warren Zaire-Emery. Only 18, but already the heartbeat of the midfield. He plays with the calm and control of someone who's been doing this for a decade. Whether it's breaking up play or starting attacks, he does it all, and he does it with class. Bradley Barcola and Xavi Simons added even more fire. Both are fast, technical, and fearless. They didn't play like supporting cast, they play like leaders. And the best part? They're just getting started. This wasn't PSG throwing money at problems anymore. This was a real project. They didn't just buy stars. They developed them, built chemistry, trusted the process. And when it mattered most, it paid off in the biggest way possible. This new core didn't just carry PSG through the season, they redefined what this club stands for. And then came the final, where all the years of pain, near misses, and what-ifs finally turned into something unforgettable. This wasn't just another Champions League final. This was domination. PSG didn't edge past Inter Milan, they absolutely crushed them. A 5-0 win on the biggest stage in European football. That's not just impressive, that's record-breaking. The biggest winning margin in UCL final history. Desiree Doué was the star once again. 2 goals, electric pace, and the confidence of someone twice his age. And Achraf Hakimi, who had been bombing up and down the flank all night, finished things off with a beautiful strike. Every goal felt like a punch through the club's old doubts. They barely showed up. Just one shot on target the entire game. That's how well PSG controlled everything, from defense to attack. Their pressing was relentless. The moment Inter touched the ball, 3 PSG players were on them. And when PSG had the ball, their transitions were lightning fast and brutally effective. In midfield, Zaire-Emery and Vitinha bossed the tempo. The backline barely put a foot wrong. And up front, the movement and link-up play were as smooth as we've ever seen from this team. This wasn't just a football match, it was a release. PSG played like a team that had waited years to explode. All that pressure, all that doubt, it disappeared in those 90 minutes. This final wasn't about winning, it was about proving a point. PSG didn't just lift the trophy. They announced to the world, we've arrived and we're not going anywhere. And just like that, the story flipped. From years of heartbreak to finally standing at the top of Europe, this win means everything to PSG. It's not just another trophy in the cabinet, it's a statement that the club has truly transformed. For the fans, it's a reward for sticking with the team through all the tough times. From that gut-wrenching loss to Bayern in 2020 to last year's painful semifinal exit against Dortmund. It's been a long, emotional ride. This title ends all of that. The waiting, the jokes, the heartbreak, gone. For the club, this is proof that the new strategy worked. They didn't just throw money at big names this time. They built something. They trusted youth. They backed a coach with vision. And now they've got the biggest prize in club football to show for it. For Luis Enrique, this win puts him right up there with the best. He didn't just manage egos. He created a team with balance, belief, and bravery. And now he's a European champion again. But maybe the biggest shift? PSG's reputation. They're no longer the team that crumbles under pressure. No longer just a flashy, big spending side. They're champions, deserved, dominant, and here to stay. If you've enjoyed this journey through PSG's historic run, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got more stories like this coming your way. Deep dives, tactical breakdowns, football history, and everything in between. This was PSG's road from pain to Parisian immortality. Thanks for watching.